Sword of the Demon Hunter, Kijin Gentoushou Episode 3 delivers not merely a continuation of a historical fantasy tale, but a meditative exploration of morality, grief, identity, and the blurred lines between human and demon. In an episode where swords are drawn not for vengeance but for memory, where characters speak softly but with truths louder than war cries, and where the night itself feels like a character brimming with secrets, viewers are transported deeper into the thematic soul of this anime. Rather than rely on spectacle or conventional conflict, this episode invites us to slow down and reflect, much like its protagonists who carry centuries of burdens in a single breath. At the heart of Episode 3 lies a powerful duality. We are shown the world through two opposing yet eerily similar figures. Jinya, the stoic demon hunter bound by purpose, and Mosuk, the demon who grieves more deeply than most humans could understand. Their meeting is not one of climactic battle but of emotional revelation, of philosophical confrontation. These two do not simply cross swords. They intersect beliefs. The episode opens with subtle disturbances in the town. Whispers of tsujijiri or random slashing attacks have returned. Men are being found dead in the streets, while women are mysteriously vanishing. A sense of dread looms, not through gore or terror, but through the unnatural quiet that shrouds the alleys. The world is out of balance. It is here that Jinya, ever calm and observant, begins to suspect something more sinister lurking behind the rumors. Yet before action comes revelation. The episode grants us a rare and deeply necessary conversation between Mosuk and Jinya. The demon is not a snarling beast nor a malevolent schemer. He is a quiet man mourning a love lost. Sum, his human lover, had accepted him despite knowing his nature. She had loved him, and in doing so, allowed Mosuk to find peace in a world that would rather see him perish. Her disappearance shattered that peace. And though Mosuk remains composed, his anguish simmers under every word he speaks. In many ways, Mosuk is the emotional center of this episode. His confession that he does not live among humans because he loves them but because he despises violence hits like a silent scream in the night. He is not at odds with humans out of revenge or rebellion. He simply wishes to live quietly. His fight, if any, is not against the world but against the pain that the world has thrust upon him. Jinya, for his part, listens, and that is perhaps the most striking detail of this episode. He does not interrupt. He does not immediately accuse or strike. He allows Mosuk the dignity of grief. He grants him space to mourn. The tsujijiri is not just a random killer. The victims are all men. The missing are all women. There is a pattern hidden in the chaos, and that pattern hints at something more intelligent, more orchestrated. Perhaps not a demon at all. Perhaps something worse. The implication that demons might be the scapegoats for horrors committed by humans is chilling. The episode never states this outright. It lets the mystery breathe. It allows viewers to wrestle with the idea that the true monsters may not be the ones with claws and fangs, but the ones who wear human skin and smile while they kill. From a storytelling perspective, this is masterful. The world of Kijin Gentoushou is not black and white. It is an ocean of gray hues. Each character we meet carries a weight we cannot see. Each decision made is shaped by trauma, by love, by longing. A young girl speaks to Jinya about the Yukianagi or snow willow. She describes it as neither willow nor cherry blossom, yet blooming beautifully regardless. It is a hybrid, a misfit, and yet undeniably elegant. This scene, quiet as it is, carries the emotional thesis of the entire episode. The Yukianagi becomes a metaphor for those who do not fit, for the demons who act more human than many humans, for the humans who carry demonic pain in their hearts, for love stories that the world does not understand. Misfits can love anyway, and even demons can weep. From a directorial standpoint, the use of space and silence in this episode is exceptional. Scenes are framed with care. Empty streets, lingering shots on expressions, moonlight filtering through branches. The anime resists the urge to fill every second with dialogue or music. It embraces stillness. It lets us feel the tension. It lets the characters breathe. The emotional silence becomes deafening. Mosuk wishes to avenge Tsum not out of rage, but out of devotion. His love was stolen and he seeks closure. Yet he does not lash out indiscriminately. He asks for Jinya's permission to continue his search. He is not demanding blood. He is asking for the right to mourn properly. Jinya, bound by duty, struggles with this. His code demands the destruction of demons. But his heart, weathered and wise, sees the pain behind Mosuk's eyes. Their conversation becomes a philosophical duel. What is justice? Who has the right to administer it? Is Mosuk justified in seeking the Tsujijiri? Is Jinya justified in letting him? The episode refuses to give easy answers, presents two truths and lets them coexist. Dialogue feels lived in. Every word matters. Even casual lines hint at deeper themes. When Jinya speaks of his childhood, of an abusive father and a beloved sister, we see the roots of his stoicism. When Mosuk speaks of the home he tried to build, we feel the collapse of a dream. When the girl compares the Yukiyanagi to herself, we understand the quiet battles she fights. Every character, no matter how briefly shown, is given weight. They are not plot devices. They are people. The pacing of the episode is deliberate. Some might call it slow, but to those who are listening, it is perfectly timed. And that alone sets it apart in a crowded medium. There is a haunting sadness that lingers after the credits roll. Not the sadness of tragedy alone, but of beauty unfulfilled, of songs that were never finished, of walks under the moon that end too soon. Mosuk's grief becomes ours. Jinya's restraint becomes something we admire. Episode 3 is a quiet triumph. It does not raise its voice. It does not scream for attention, but it commands it. Through elegance, empathy, and emotional honesty, it draws us in and refuses to let go. It reminds us that swords are not just tools of death. Sometimes they are extensions of memory. Sometimes they are the only way to say goodbye. As episode 3 closes, we are left with a promise. Not of resolution, but of continuation. The Tsujijiri is still out there. Sume's killer is still unknown. The streets of Edo are still haunted. But now, two souls walk them not as enemies but as uneasy allies. A demon who seeks peace through revenge. A hunter who seeks clarity through compassion. Together, they search not just for a killer, but for something far more elusive: understanding. And perhaps, in that search, they will discover that the true battle is not against demons or humans, but against the darkness we carry within ourselves. Episode 3 of Sword of the Demon Hunter is a meditation, a requiem, a love letter to the misfits, the mourners, the ones who bloom despite the world refusing to recognize their beauty. It is an episode that does not entertain so much as it enlightens. And in doing so, it becomes not just a part of the story, but a story in itself. A story worth revisiting. A story worth remembering. Always,